Hello and welcome to this first look at the new Drupal 8 environment. Throughout this video, I'm going to be showing off some basic tasks that go through the new environment and check out some of its key features. This video was recorded on an account that is a system admin, and as such, the admin menu may look a little bit different to you depending on your level of access. Keep in mind that some of the specifics of the system may change as the environment is continuing to be developed. To start off, we will need to log in. This is just as easy as it's always been. Simply add /user to the end of the URL at root, and make sure you log in using your credentials. Now that we're logged in, let's take a look at the admin menu at the top. Starting from the left-hand side here, you'll be able to see that we have the Drupal 8 logo. This is where you'll be able to log out by clicking the option at the very bottom of this menu. Next, and probably one of the most important tabs for any content creator on the site, is the Content tab. Let's take a look at that before we continue. This page may look very familiar for those of you who have used our Pantheon environment. This tab is where you'll be able to see all of your pages on the site, along with being able to filter by the name and filter by many other different parameters. It's also possible to add a page from this view, but a much simpler way to add a page is to come up to the top and then go Add Content and then select Basic Page to add a page. This page will be very similar to how a page is set up in both of the old environments. Simply add a title, select whether or not you want to put them in the navigation menu and where, and then change the URL if you choose to, and then select Save. Now that we have a page, let's take a look at our available options within the page. First off, we have View, which is relatively self-explanatory. Next, we have Edit, which is to edit the page properties only and not the page content. After that, we have a dedicated tab to deleting the page, and finally, we have the Layout tab, where we'll actually edit the page's content. Let's take a look at the new Layout tab and see how to add some content to the page. Before we add any content, perhaps some background information might be helpful. If you're coming from the Pantheon environment or the on-prem environment, this will be similar to how bricks and panel pages work respectively. The major advantage to this is that the new Layout tab, instead of having one static layout and changing the whole page's layout in order to have differently sized content, sections act as layouts where you can have multiple different sections to build out a page. Let's put some content into the page to help illustrate this a little bit better. To add a block of content to a section, simply select Add Block. Keep in mind this will filter based on what blocks are available for the current section size and position of the page that you're in. Since this is the first section, we only have 2 blocks available to me, and they're both hero blocks. In this case, I'm just going to select the regular hero CTA, and once I click on it, I'm just going to hit Add Block. Now that we have it added to our page, I'm going to add some content to the other section that I put in earlier. As you see, once I select Add Block, it filters based on what are available for the size that I'm currently in this case 75. I'm going to add 2 regular text blocks, and once I've finished adding these 2 text blocks, I'm going to go ahead and save the layout so that we can finally start adding some content to these blocks within the page. I've gone ahead and sped up this section of the video as I'm just adding content to the blocks themselves to build out the page. But as you can see, an editing window appears each time that I hit Edit Blocks, and I simply fill out the content for the blocks within that editor. This process may be sped up significantly, but even as you can tell just by me going through and editing these blocks, it's quite easy to add content to your site, and even some more flexible and dynamic content. Now, although the page that I created is not a whole lot to look at, with our block library currently sitting at 20 blocks, and with a few more already on the way, you can already create a really appealing page within the environment. And also keep in mind that all of these pages are scalable down to the mobile view, and they even scale the menus properly as well. With the mention of menus, I do want to end off with just a quick look at the appearance of the menus inside the new environment. As you can see, they're clearly laid out and easy to access pages through, and I'll even see the relationship of the menu items to each other.